Welcome to day 61 of our 62-day low-level design course. Today we are focusing on something crucial for your career development, design interviews. As we approach the final day of the course, it's important to be equipped not just with the theoretical knowledge but also with the practical skills to ace system design interviews. Today we will walk through strategies for success, solve practical problems, and simulate real interview situations so we can walk into any design interview with confidence. By the end of today's session, you will be able to confidently tackle any LLD interview. Our primary goal is to get you prepared for the types of design challenges you will encounter in interviews at top tech companies. We will start by learning proven strategies for excelling in LLD interviews, work through live problems, participate in collaborative group activities, and finish by highlighting common mistakes to avoid. You will leave today with a clear action plan to continue your preparation. Let's take a look at today's agenda. First, we will begin with an overview of the key strategies that top companies expect you to demonstrate in system design interviews. Then we will move into the core part of our session with a live practice problem to apply the strategies in real time. After the problem solving session, you will work in groups on another design challenge to simulate a collaborative environment. We will conclude with an important discussion on common mistakes that interviews often make, followed by a mock interview demo where I will walk you through the steps of solving a design problem while explaining my thought process. Finally, we will discuss key takeaways and wrap up with an assignment that will further strengthen your skills. Before we dive into strategies, let's first understand what companies are really looking for in a system design interview. Unlike coding interviews, design interviews are about demonstrating your problem solving approach, ability to model complex systems, and how you manage trade offs. Companies want to see that you can think through requirements, identify potential bottlenecks, design for scalability and performance, and explain your design choices in a clear and structured manner. Communication is key. They want to see that you can articulate your thought process in a way that makes sense to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. Let's now talk about how you can approach these interviews strategically. Preparation is the first step. Practice the most common system design problems like designing a parking lot system or elevator system. Refamiliarize yourself with essential concepts like design patterns, UML diagrams, and scalability principles. A good strategy is to have a checklist ready for interviews. Start by asking questions to clarify the problem and then break the problem down into smaller chunks. Focus on designing the core components first, followed by considering trade-offs like scalability, availability, and consistency. This step-by-step process helps prevent feeling overwhelmed during the interview. Now that we have discussed preparation, let's talk about what to do during the interview itself. Clarifying requirements is critical. Make sure you understand exactly what the interviewer is asking. Think out loud to demonstrate your thought process. Your ability to communicate clearly and justify your decisions is just as important as your technical ability. Start simple. Sketch out a high-level design and then only refine and add details. Don't overcomplicate the solution initially. One of the most important things to remember is that iterating on your design as you go shows that you can adapt to new information and constraints. Finally, manage your time efficiently. Ensure you leave enough time to address the entire system from the back end to the front end. Let's dive into our first live practice problem. Today we will be designing a basic online food ordering system. I want you to start by focusing on the core components. What entities make up the system? What are their responsibilities? And how do they interact with each other? Remember to gather any assumptions and clarify the problem. From there, we will start building the system's architecture and model the relationships between classes and modules. Make sure to apply design patterns that fit the problem at hand. Keep an eye on scalability and think about edge cases. This exercise will help you get used to managing the complexity of real-world systems. Now it's time for a group activity. You will be working together to design a hotel room booking system. As you collaborate, remember that this is a great chance to share ideas and learn from each other. Each team member can tackle a different part of the system, and together you will build a complete design. As you work through this problem, focus on defining the user roles, core features, and interactions between system components. Take 30 minutes for this activity, and then we will have each group present their solution. This will help you practice working in a collaborative environment and communicating your design decisions effectively. Let's now discuss common mistakes to watch out for during LLD interviews. First, one of the biggest errors is rushing to code without properly understanding the requirements. Always ask questions upfront to clarify any ambiguities. Another common mistake is over-engineering a solution by adding unnecessary complexity. It's tempting to design the perfect solution, but often a simpler, more straightforward approach is better. Also, don't forget about scalability. Your design should account for growth. Finally, avoid making vague or unclear diagrams. Make sure your diagrams are simple, clean, and easy to follow so the interviewer can easily understand your design. Now it's time for a mock interview demo. I will be taking on a design problem, explaining my thought process as I go through it in step by step. Watch how I approach the problem from start to finish. First, clarifying the requirements, then sketching out the design, selecting appropriate design patterns, and iterating on the solution. This will give you a solid example of how to structure your answer and communicate effectively in a real interview. Pay attention to how I balance technical details with clear explanations and how I adapt my solution as I discover new information. As we near the end of today's session, let's summarize the key takeaways. First, practice consistently. Aim to solve at least one LLD problem every day. Think like an architect. Start with a high level design and only move into the details once the big picture is clear. Communicate your ideas clearly, structure your thoughts, and speak with confidence. And finally, don't forget about the importance of scalability, flexibility, and maintainability in your designs. Keep these principles in mind, and you will be well on your way to succeeding in your system design interviews. Your assignment for today is to tackle the splitwise system design problem on your own. Try to design it using the strategies we have discussed today. Once you have created your design, take some time to record a 5-minute video explaining your solution. This will not only help you improve your communication skills, but also give you a chance to review your design and identify areas for improvement. Remember, the more you practice, the better you will get at explaining complex systems clearly and efficiently. Thank you for your participation today. We have covered a lot of ground, from strategies for tackling LLD interviews to practicing real world problems. As you continue preparing, remember that designing systems is a skill that improves with practice. Stay consistent, keep practicing, and embrace the learning process. Best of luck for your preparation, and I look forward to seeing you on day 62 for the final wrap up. Good luck, and I'm confident you will do great in your upcoming interviews.